The Master, a Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams. This is a really good movie. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It's going to be a good movie. I don't think the man's ever made a bad movie, or at least, I would say at least a bad movie. Most of his stuff is good to great, and I think this pretty clearly falls into the great category. Joaquin Phoenix plays a World War II veteran who is an alcoholic and who, like, makes his own alcohol, kind of, out of God knows what, cleaners and whatever he can really get his hands on. Philip Seymour Hoffman, who plays a cult leader, and he falls for it to the point where he's arguing with people anytime, and violent with people anytime they go against his teachings. Amy Adams plays Philip Seymour Hoffman's wife in this, and is also doing a fantastic job, although her role is a little bit more limited. This is a great movie. I don't want to get too into the plot in this movie, just because I think it would spoil a lot of the movie if I did. If I try to explain too much of it, it kind of ruins the movie. This movie is very much about what's happening and your understanding of it, and explaining it, I think, would diminish the movie a little bit. But I will say there is a scene where Philip Seymour Hoffman is kind of debating in front of all of his followers with John Moore, played by Christopher Evan Welch, and the back and forth is fantastic. It is exactly what you want to see from Philip Seymour Hoffman. It has the calm aggression that slowly turns to just anger. It has the loudness but depth to it that you expect from him, and it's one of his best. It's one of those scenes that is what you know Philip Seymour Hoffman for. Again, one of my favorite actors, and I love all of his work, and this is no different. He is the highlight of this movie. While Joaquin Phoenix is also doing a fantastic job, and Amy Adams is doing the absolute best she can with what she's given. Again, despite being a lead, she has a much smaller role in the movie. The showstopper, the show stealer here, is absolutely Philip Seymour Hoffman as the Master, as Lancaster Dodd, as the cult leader. He plays this role so incredibly well, and it is fantastic. This might be my second favorite role that he's in. I don't know if anything can touch how good he is in Charlie Wilson's War, but if anything can, I think this is incredibly close. That's not to say I've seen everything he's in, but from what I've seen, this is probably the closest we get to him being that good. And that says a lot, because he is fantastic in that movie. That's not what this video is about, but he is fantastic in that movie, so for this to be even close to that level, I think does say something about how good he is in this movie, and really just how good this movie is. Again, it is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, which does also carry a bit of weight to it, and does kind of add to how good this movie is, and then the rest of the cast. Philip Seymour Hoffman aside, Joaquin Phoenix is also an incredible actor. Amy Adams is a very good actress, but there's even, like, smaller roles being played by people who at the time were not necessarily the biggest, but have since we've recognized as some of the best actors working now, like Jesse Plemons. It's fantastic work all around from the cast. Directed incredibly by Paul Thomas Anderson, and The Master is really just a masterful movie. Perfectly done. Cannot recommend this enough, although it is 138 minutes long, which is a little over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. It's a little long for my taste. I do prefer a little bit shorter, but it uses that time exquisitely, and I can't imagine. There's nothing I would cut from this movie, to be honest. Not every movie needs to be short, although I do prefer my nice, tight movies. This is one where the length does work to its advantage, and it is worth every second. Thanks for watching. Absolutely recommend this movie. It is fantastic, and again, just an excuse to see Philip Seymour Hoffman do what he did best, and that's always great. That's what you want to see.